So I've had this idea for a while now of some sort of simplified dashboard that you could have for different form of social medias as like content creators, especially now that I've been uploading to YouTube a bit more. As nice as the like dashboard that you have in your YouTube studio, I feel like there's just too many metrics, and I feel like it's a perfect example of something I try to praise very often in work and also in general in life, in tech, is keep your data minimal and only get the things that you need. And I know that at least as a very small content creator, when I look at my like YouTube studio, I have so many metrics that honestly I don't really use. And so we're gonna start today building some sort of like open source simplified dashboard platform, and we're starting with YouTube because it's the one that makes the most sense for me. So we're gonna take a look at what we can actually get, like check what the API has, how it works, how we can pull it, what type of data we can pull, and then we'll build like a simple little Python script to get that data locally. This is obviously gonna be a multiple episode series. Today will only be YouTube, but next episode will be another platform, and then we'll slowly build our way to like a proper product that you guys can use. And at the end, everything will be available for free on GitHub so that any of you can actually do it. And if you have any feedback also as the episodes go by, please feel free to let me know. I'd love to know. And if you want to actually get more of like details and code and info about the thing, I'll leave in the description a link to subscribe to the newsletter that I'm gonna send out to follow the project and get like a bit more technical detail on everything that will go on in this project. So let's get started on this new project. So a little side note on like project organization. I know technically like today I'm only gonna do like basically one small script and just like a bit of API exploration, but I still, because it's a bigger project, I still set up like a Notion page. And I actually, even though this is like not for work, I actually still set up a Kanban with like tickets. I mean, I do it in Notion, but obviously you can use Trello, Jira, whatever other tool you like using. I just think the format of Kanban board is just super convenient and kind of keeps you on track, because at least for me, usually when I have project ideas like this, it starts off as like I have 15 ideas of like features, what I want to implement, what I want it to do. So I just like do like a brain dump of like all those ideas, create all the tickets, and then when I feel like coding, I can just implement them one by one. And actually the page is a bit more extensive than just the ticketing, because I wrote like overview, the different phases that I think for now, obviously this is topic to change, but also the tech stack and like future smaller ideas. So I think it's important whenever you start a project that is like a bit, not huge, but you know, a bit bigger than just like 10 lines of code, to have a little page like this, or even if it's in like notebook, like you wrote it down like manually. But it just, I don't know, keeps you on track, and also good for whenever you might be doing interviews and you've done a project like this, you have kind of like materials to show. Think of it as like slowly building out a portfolio. I feel like that's always useful. So it's been about half an hour. I have a very simple script right now. You give like a YouTube channel ID, and then you give a YouTube API key so that you can use the API. I have one request that gets the like basic statistics of the channel, so total subscribers, total views, total uploads. Then once we have all the individual IDs of the video, we just have a loop that combines all of the IDs, because apparently you can batch requests, so ask the statistics of multiple videos at once, but there's a limit, which is 50. And then for each video we get the title, the views, the likes, and the number of comments. Then now we're gonna start building something a bit more concrete. Also put all of the data that we collect into data frames so that later on we can build actual tables. But before we get to that, I think it's time for a little coffee break. Great, a little sweet. One thing that I wanted to mention is AI. So far, I have decided not to use AI, especially for this like test script part of the experiment, because I've never dealt with the YouTube API before, and I think it's really important to not use AI when you discover something new and when you're like trying to figure out how something works, because obviously if I prompted basically the script that I have, I could have had it in like 2 minutes in using AI. Especially APIs can get quite technical, and I will say sometimes AI are not super good at using APIs, like sometimes, especially if it's big APIs like the YouTube one that has like frequent changes, they like hallucinate endpoints and stuff like that. So also to like avoid errors, it's better to have like a good understanding of what the API can do and cannot do. That's my advice of the day, I guess, is when you're doing like a personal project where your goal is to learn, don't use AI for that. Obviously for the like bigger script, I'm gonna use it because now I already have all the endpoints and like basically I have the data I want, and the rest is just gonna be way easier to do with AI, and I already know how to do it. Like this is the part that I've done a million times, so it's not like I have that much to learn. Read the documentation even though it's not fun. So I'm sort of done for the like YouTube analytics part of like getting the metrics. So I think that's gonna be it for like this week's episode. Obviously there will be another one next week. Stay tuned to find out which platform we're gonna get data from. Also, if you're interested in getting the full script, before I explain a bit like how it works so that you can reproduce it, you can actually join the link in the description to be part of the newsletter, and in the newsletter I'll share like full code snippets, but for now I'm just gonna explain what's in the code and what it does. It's a very simple code. I just have my own YouTube API key, so you need to get your own if you want to run it as well. And then it's the like default one. You don't even need to have the one that is like linked to your channel, because the code uses the part of the API that you can use for like any channel, so you can even like run the code for other channels and see what their metrics are looking like. And then it only gets two types of metrics, the like channel metrics, so it gets total views, total subscribers, and number of videos, and then it gets all the videos and the data of the videos, so like duration, likes, comments, views, and when it was published. And those are in like 2 data frames that then I also can save in CSVs format. That's a temporary thing for now, because later on when we'll have all of our platforms, for now everything is going to be CSVs, but it was just to like see what it looks like as a table. But later on we'll save everything in a database once we have all of our data from all the other platforms. And then the script has a few settings, because initially I was using the channel ID, which is before, when you used to go on a YouTube channel, you would see in the like URL a very long string, like number, letters, blah blah, and that used to be the like channel ID, and it still exists, but it's a bit like hidden to find it, especially for someone else's channel. You might have to like look into the source code to find it. So now we also have the option to use the username, which is like the little at and then username that we see on like when you click on a YouTube channel. So now we can use both that and the ID. I think the ID is good, especially for your own channel, to save it in the environment file, because it's just like a more stable way, because username you can change it on YouTube. So username is just if you want to look up someone else's channel, and then you might not want to like dig and find what their ID is, and then you can just use the username. But the ID is the more like stable through time. But yeah, that was really fun to do. I haven't done like a small project like that in a while, and it's kind of nice to like go back to the basics of data, which is just hitting an API, getting the data, putting it in a data frame. And next episodes, as I said, we'll go through another platform, and then after either another one as well, so either when we have 2 or 3 platforms, I'll start working on the like more fun part, which is like building an actual app and like interface and UI and like users and things like that. And at that point I will probably start putting some things on GitHub at the end of episodes, but for now most of the like code will be in the newsletter, so I invite you to join with the link below. And yeah, stay tuned for the next episode then.